First of all, both of you, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. How you guys doing?
Doing all right. Thank you for
Oh,
having me.
doing good. Doing well.
Awesome, awesome. So let's talk about this play because you guys are going nationwide with this. Um, for you, Demetria, first and foremost, you being a part of this play, and let's talk a little bit about just your character and how your character is a part of this great play, and also what did you have to do to prepare to ensure that your character comes to life to the audience and really gravitates to the audience.
I have the honor of playing Deidre. I'm the homegirl slash business partner of the character played by Carl Anthony Payne, which is Caleb. I've been in his life for a while. I'm the homegirl. I'm the one that tells him, "Hey, them girls ain't good. They trash. Da 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 da." Right. So I'm kind of the voice of reason on his shoulder. And there's more to follow with that as it pertains to them, but to get ready for her and make sure that she felt authentic, I really had to do some self research. I've always kind of been the home girl. I always kind of vibe with guys a lot better than girls. Don't know why. Um, but it was just something for me to do some introspection on and really kind of explore because it's just kind of been the mode of operation for me my whole life. But now I'm like, oh, okay, what makes it so that that's that, so that I could really, really hone into who she was.
And Flex, for you, you're being a part of this play as well. Your
Hmm.
character and how you're able to, have synergy with the rest of the cast. And what is your character? What are you most, I would say, proud about your character?
My character is he's just a good dude, and he's without giving too much away. He's the brother that's letting this woman know, hey, I'm here. Um, Sometimes women can look for or be dazzled by the I guess the hierarchy or the fancy or whatever, and I'm saying, hey, I'm right here. I'm gonna hold you down. He's a good guy, works hard, works plenty. That's all I'll say. But he's a good dude. He's I won't say easy, but it wasn't super difficult to just tap into who he is, because I try to kind of be that way in real life, just real easy going. He's funny, caring, and very determined. And as far as the synergy with the cast, we just all of us, we hang out. I can say this is definitely one of my the most fun experiences, because we all just dig each other. Everybody, obviously from years of working together. This is my first time working with Demetria, but I've been a fan of hers for a while. Jill Marie, I worked with her on Girlfriends. Carl, I've known him forever. He went to junior high school with my cousin. um, Naomi. I mean, you're gonna see some breakout people that it's gonna blow your mind. You're gonna be like, "Yo!" We got a couple of breakout performances, and then Brian White, of course, I've known him for a while. So it's almost like you working with. I get excited working with people I admire, people I just have watched from afar, and I get to work with them. It just pumps me up, and I get excited. So the synergy has been dope. We hang out in every city, have fun, talk crap, and Dimitri is the drink bully.
I knew it was coming.
Wow.
I
So
knew it
you
was coming.
you the drink bully, Demetria? Is that you do mind shots? I mean,
You
what we
know, you
doing?
must test your might.
What for both of you all, what was it like? I mean, you mentioned Carl Payne, who also stars in this play, but
Yeah.
also he's directing. So how are you able to be directed by Carl Payne and not the actor Carl Payne? For both of you.
It was actually easier than I thought it was going to be. I tend to enjoy directors who come from the background of acting because they know a little bit nuanced ways of communicating what they're looking for. They've been in those shoes, they've been under that pressure, they've had to deal with the extra people and all that other stuff. So they have a different lens on top of the brilliance that they bring with the directing.
Mm.
Carl is so he's a community director. Like, he involves everybody. He's willing to listen to the ideologies. He's willing to hear the conversation out. And if it doesn't work, then that's what it is. But he's not so precious about the idea being his, which always helps me as an actor feel a bit more free in the role and able to try things and not so stringent within the situation. I think he did an incredible job. That's not easy. That is so not easy. To have to be the character, be on par with what the writers want, be on par with what the promoters want, the producers want, and then also direct and star in it. So kudos to him for that.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And then you know, one thing I'll add, and to be able to balance everybody. We're all individuals. We all have our idiosyncrasies. You know,
Yeah.
we don't all have great days every day. You know, we try to bring just great energy, but you know, some days you're off. You know, and he does a great job of balancing that, and you know, kind of dealing with stuff that I think you know a few of us probably wouldn't. He deals with it and he balances it out, and he just does, he does it in a really good way. This is his first time directing stage, but not directing, so he's used to it.
Right.
He's done
Mm.
television for, he's been doing it for years directing.
Yeah.
So I just like to, sit back, hear his, and like she said, he you can give him your idea, and he'll always meet you in the middle. And then he'll like, hey, try it that way. Let's try it both ways, see what happens. And he means that, because some directors be like, okay, we'll try it your way, then my way, then it just ends up being their way. But he
Yeah.
truly, if you come up with something or there's a moment that works better, he's like, yo, go with that. So it's been easy.
Is he
The other
more
thing
like a? I'm sorry.
the
Go
other
ahead.
thing he's brought television to the stage. We're doing things that are only really recognized in the TV world or in the movie world. So to be able to bring that, combine it with the technology that Jacarius is bringing, it's been a really cool thing to watch, and y'all are going to enjoy it.
Looking forward to it. Is he more like a Phil Jackson or a Bill Belichick when it comes to the directing?
Huh.
I say Phil Jackson.
Let me see. Phil Jackson, Bill Belichick. Huh. That's a good one, because, yeah, I would say Phil Jackson, because
Yeah.
there's a zen. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yes.
There's a zen to it. Like, it's like you be in control and you don't even know it.
Right. Yeah.
I looked at the cast and I see that there's so much, there's a variety. And that's the thing that's beautiful to me about this play. There's a variety of backgrounds. You got Brian White, who's done a lot of serious roles in film and
Mhm.
television. Demetria, you've done, comedy, but you've also done, serious roles.
Mhm.
Flex, you coming from the stage and obviously,
Mhm.
television and things of that nature. Chico Bean, you know, um,
Yes.
Jill Marie Jones, who we
Yeah.
all know from Girlfriends and other,
Mhm.
from television. Um, what do you feel like the audience is going to gain by watching this play and view? And what do you want them to walk away from when they finish viewing this play?
Take it away.
Mm. Um, I think that this show is, um, it's spiritual. It's about love. It's about sacrifice. It's about redemption. It's about, um, uh, seeing past um, seeing past the falsehoods of relationships. Um, and just, I don't know, there's so much, I'm telling you, there's so much this show offers. Like, it's not just come get a laugh, it's so much. There's a scene, one of my favorite scenes in the play is with Demetria and Naomi, that just takes me out every time. Like, I come down and I watch that scene every show, and it's one of my favorite scenes in the show. So, it's just everything, man. It really is. It's love. It's spiritual. It's really everything, man. I mean, I know that's probably not the most solid answer, but that's really what I can say, because it really gives you a dose of everything.
I noticed too with Carl's character, played, but he plays Caleb. Obviously, Jill's character, she plays Paisley, and then we talk
Hmm.
about the prenup situation, how a
Hmm.
prenup can get in the way of it. You talk about love or
Hmm.
relationships.
Hmm.
You know, was that a subject that you all were like, yes, the audience is really going to gravitate towards it, but also too, you guys, being a part of it, but also like you said, Flex, earlier, watching as these two, go through those layers of those issues.
Mhm.
Um, what was your take on just when you got the script and you guys are reading through it and you're like, okay, yeah, I like this, or
Mhm.
something we could really get into.
I'll put that on
Man,
Demetria. Put that on Demetria.
soon as I seen that, I was like, oh, I know what this looks like. I've been in that situation. And I think that's what I hope that the audience takes away from it. The situations that they're seeing, they've lived, they've seen, they've experienced, they've hurt from, they've grown from, they've healed from, they put on somebody else. My particular situation, the prenup thing, touched me, touched me. But it's not just that. I think it's the complexities of relationships that really don't have to be. That's so intriguing for me. It's a conversation starter for sure. When you talk about prenups and things like that, and it's really just about wanting to protect yourself. So if you're looking at it from that lens, it doesn't come across as harsh. But the other things, the other shenanigans that are going on within the play, bruh, y'all gonna have some conversations. Bring your loved one, the main one, the side one, whichever one you feel like will actually have a good time. And the other thing is, we want to know what they relate to. If we're breaking the fourth wall, we want y'all to talk to us. We want y'all to say, "Oh hell nah, oh I like her. I don't like that. If you do that, I'm gonna punch you." But don't really do it. You know. Yeah. So we're hoping that you have the conversations because they're while they can be unpleasant, they don't have to be hard.
And for you, Flex, any thoughts
um, I mean,
without getting
she's
you in trouble? Without getting you in
no,
trouble.
no. No. I think Demetrius' characters sees it's two different lenses. I think my character is really in the beginning trying to prove himself in a sense, but then um, realizing that there's no need to do that. You just he just has to be himself. And um, the woman that he's vying for her attention. He's just throwing up the signals, letting her know, I'm here. And again, without giving too much away, but I think the root of Lionel is he's probably gone through this before, because he's just a regular working Joe. He's probably gone through the woman looking down on him because he doesn't have the fancy car, he doesn't have this and that. But what he does have are the characteristics that I think most women say they want, which is a good heart. He's ride or die and support. He will support his woman no matter what. So that's kind of how I see it.
What is you all's take on love today in today's society? Because we've seen so many things. I mean, you can't take a woman to the Cheesecake Factory no more. You can't do this. You can't take them there. They want this. Men want to do that and this. What is
It's
you all take on?
ridiculous, man. It is
Out
ridiculous.
of
It's so
control.
social media, man. It's all
Yes.
social media is literally. I think it's the death of society, man. Like I'm so thankful I got to come up in an age where I didn't have to worry about cameras always up. Um, you weren't always able to just get me right away. I'm talking about before pages. You know what I mean? Because I go back a little way. Uh, but even before pages, to say that I've seen the advent of pages is crazy. But
Yeah.
um, come, and I'm gonna say this like just all the way around. Obviously in relationships, but all the way around in the industry, business, all that as well. Because at that time, you really had to put that work in. And I remember having to go from venue to venue, passing out flyers. And now, if I'm doing stand up somewhere, whatever, they're like, yeah, just post it online. And then promoters don't even promote. They just like, if it doesn't, you don't get the numbers, then that's on you.
Yeah.
Now going into relationships, I think we've got to a place of comparison, and everybody trying to make everything look great online, which we know it's not. And ain't nothing wrong with the cheesecake, and that's all. Cheesecake
Nothing,
Factory. I'll say that. The Cheesecake Factory
nothing.
is amazing.
And I think that the art of the side chick has gotten crazy out here. The art of side chicking has lost its mind. Like it's not anything new, right? There's always been this market, this unspoken kind of underbelly of, you know, I'll be over here when you're ready type thing. But I feel like it's just gotten to be an expectation. It's gotten to be an okay uh mindset. And it's really sad because it makes people really, like Flex was saying, not really have to pursue or work hard. You know, it's like I've got all these options. I'm gonna exercise every one of them. Why? That's tiring. That's tiring. And it's a bit toxic in certain situations, you know. So I think social media definitely has been a kind of a crash out for relationships. And then I think mental faculties have kind of shifted into an unhealthy place. And if we don't get back to the love of the 90s, you know, like that was my time.
Oh man, listen,
That was
man.
my
Oh,
time.
I
You know
mean,
what I'm saying? People
what
weren't scared to
happened?
say they were in love or they were in pursuit and you were
Yeah,
courting, like for real, you know, all of that stuff. So if I can't have that 90s love, I don't want it.
man. I remember making slow jam tapes for girls that I
Yes.
liked. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I'm gonna
Yes.
give Demetria over here preaching. I'm gonna give her an offering. She over here preaching.
Hey, you just gotta make sure you let her leave the church. Don't lock the doors.
All right, right.
Ooh,
We ain't gonna charge 20. We good.
that's a mess plus. Yeah.
Never would have paid it.
Oh no.
Never would have paid it.
Oh
There
man.
you go. Couple things before I let you guys get on out of here. One for you, Flex. I know we watched your evolution. You know, like you said, from the '90s on to where you
Mhm.
are right now.
Mhm.
What do you miss most? Do you miss doing television or stand up the most?
Mm. Well, I'm still doing television. I'm still, active there. We're gearing up for season 6 of Family Business. I have my own
Right.
project that I'm shot and doing. Stand up, I think, is what I miss most because, well, I can't say because you can speak your mind because now it's changed. You can't
It's
even
different.
talk about stuff, but stand up I miss because stand up is always evolving because I'm always evolving. It's the person I was in 97. I'm not I'm not that person in 97 anymore. This person now, I'm not the same that I was in 2000. Like there's so much growth and evolution, and stand up allows you the space to share that evolution. When I was younger, my stand up was different. It was about different things. Now it's about myself, family, being in my 50s, and all the lovely things and aches and pains that come with that. So uh, stand up to me will always hold that place. TV I love, I mean, always loved television from a kid and sitting there and seeing Eddie Murphy's Delirious and then telling my mom, you know what, that's what I'm gonna do, and being able to meet all the icons who I consider icons that really got me excited. Like being able to meet, the majority of the cast from Good Times and knowing Bernadette Stanis and getting to know and play golf with John Amos and Janae Dubois, being able to have the opportunity to have her on my show. When I had one-on-one, that's what I did. I made them reach out to people. I'm like, man, we need to highlight these people. We need to give them their flowers. I mean, I had everyone from Sinead Dubois. I've had Max Julian, who played the Mac, which is one of the most famous Black Hood movies ever. I've had Floetry on the show before. Before people even knew about these people, groups and all of that. I just have always felt like TV. If you're in that position, that you give people those flowers or you give them that opportunity, and I think that has waned away in our community. It's become a me kind of community now.
Demetria, for you, working on House of Pain for several seasons, we've watched your character go
They on
through it.
like see they on season 2000.
Right. Which is a good thing.
Facts.
Which is a good thing in today's times.
Yeah.
For you, just being a part of working with a person like Alan Payne and the rest of the cast, but most importantly, being working with Tyler Perry, and we've heard actors and actresses talk about their experiences working with Tyler Perry. What has been your experience working with Tyler and being a part of that Tyler Perry universe, so to speak?
It's been interesting to watch somebody be their own architect,
Mm.
redesign things. People can say what they want. They've done that for a very long time. But what I can say is, you know, watching somebody come from nothing with a dream and be able to fulfill it despite all the controversy, despite the pushback, despite the no's, is riveting. And then for him to actually shift television making the way that he has, filmmaking the way that he has. We were filming at first, we were doing 3 episodes a week, which at that time was unheard of. So now, with this last season we just did, which should be coming on y'all's television any moment now. With this last season we had 22 days to film 15, 15 days to film 22 episodes. So being in that environment, understanding that I had to have my timing together. And if I didn't, I had to have my improv together. And if I didn't, I had to have a seat. It made me really prepared for everything else that I've been able to do. Winchester's, Motherland, Fort Salem, Devious Maids, Saints and Sinners, A House Divided. I've had to really kind of calm myself down because I'm used to working at a faster pace than most people. So it also affords me the opportunity to be able to be more of a help if somebody needs it. It affords me the opportunity to find more things while I'm waiting for my turn. It makes me listen more, So he has been so instrumental in the artist that I've been able to become as pertaining to television. And I'm very, very grateful for it. Yes, House of Pain been on since I was 9. But again, it's gratitude. You know what I mean? He found his market, he understands it, and people keep looking for that. I think we are trying to be what the Cosby Show was back in the day. We're trying to spark those conversations in family. We're trying to have those family get together nights. We were talking about social media earlier. Everybody's so focused on their phones that they're not having the conversations. They're not spending the time. I remember when my son is 26 now. When he was little, I used to have to make him get off of the gaming system and go outside, scrape something,
Yeah.
fall down a little bit, roll around do you know he didn't know what a chigger was? I was like, I made sure that he understood life outside of electronics. And I think that Tyler Perry's House of Pain has been an instrument for that as well.
Well, so it sounded like y'all was on that Tupac Death Row schedule. Like Tyler had y'all just like moving. We gonna do 200 songs and we.
Yeah. And I mean, it's crazy what you don't think you can do until you do it.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. First of all, let me say you do not look like you have a 26-year-old son.
Oh, thank you.
That is, I was sitting there like I felt like that Kevin Hart moment. Damn. You know what I mean?
Thank you so much.
So,
He's one of my best friends.
hey, you know what? And I hope he has continued success as well, whatever he's doing. Last thing before I let you guys get on out of here, I wanted to ask you both, and I'll start with Flex. If there was a person or a period piece that you would want to portray or create on screen, who or what would that be and why?
Sam Cooke.
Whoa.
I would want to play Sam Cooke. And actually, in the late '90s, had started the process to try to uh, get the rights. Got to talk to his brother Ace and some family members, and but the guy who stole his rights, wouldn't give up the rights to the music, and you can't do a Sam Cooke movie without the Sam Cooke music. And it was more than the music; it was just studying to see and learning what he was doing. What he was doing was unheard of back then. Owning his own publishing, his own label, and taking artists that didn't get the opportunity somewhere else. And he said, "Hey, come on over here with me. This is what we're doing. You're gonna own your publishing. You're gonna own your masters." And he was really trying to put people in a better position. And that would be the story I would want to play. I would want to tell, because I don't think it gets enough notoriety. They had a special on Netflix called what is it?
The death of Sam Cooke.
Death of Sam Cooke.
Hmm.
Yeah, and that was just like just a tip of the iceberg of the
Right.
stuff. And of course, they focus on how he died instead of how he lived. And that would be the one for me, because I love his music, and I'm an old soul, so I love his music, and but I love what he was doing, and we're still fighting today to have ownership. And when we fight to have it and all that stuff, most of our stars end up, exiting this realm, and ownership going to labels and whomever else. So I just hope that at some point we can tell that story again, but in the present.
Absolutely. Yeah, the brilliance of Sam Cooke, man, is unprecedented. The fact he invested into the British invasion,
Yeah,
so many other things. I mean, yeah,
yeah.
definitely, definitely. Demetria, what about you? Who would you want to portray, or what period would you want to portray?
I don't know how to answer that. Um, what I've been really trying to figure out, and I'm trying to get my pieces together, is, I don't know about y'all, but I like watching like Viking things, right? The Last Kingdom was one of my favorites. And it's like, okay, but there were the Moors before there was that. We can see
Hmm.
so much. And I really haven't seen that story be told. Yeah, I don't think that people can really fathom everything we as a people have contributed to everybody else. So to
Hmm.
be able to tell that story, even if I can't be in it, to be able to bring the pieces together historically, to bring that and relate to what we're going through now, would be something really, really powerful for me to be a part of. I just think that we're the backbone
Hmm.
in that for a really long time. And as long as they keep telling the stories the way that they want to tell them, then that gets overshadowed. And it's not that we want anything except thank you.
Hmm.
Wisdom is the greatest superpower. So if we know better, we do better.
Wait a minute. I just realized something. You said you like Viking stuff. So that's where the bully comes from. Okay. The Viking
He's like, I'm done.
Bro,
That's,
wait till we get off this phone.
that's where it
Wait
comes
till we get off
from.
this call.
Oh,
See, you keep picking at me. You keep picking at me.
I'm sorry. No
No,
more.
it's all
No
right.
more. No
Don't even
more.
worry about it, sweetheart.
No more. No more.
Flex, you
No
want to
more.
stay
That's
online
cool.
while we get Demetria off so you can have some?
No. But you
Okay,
know
all right.
what? Something she said, and I know we got to go, but something she said, and not saying it to justify it, but what she talked about the Moors and the history, because I like to research stuff, and everybody was losing their mind over Kanye and what he was dressed in, the black, and it's as a
Right.
Black Klansman. But the history of that outfit came from the Moors,
Mhm.
and the white colonizers took that and obviously made it white. But that was a ceremony that the Moors did a week before Easter. And guess what?
Mm,
That's what Kanye did. It is literally um uh it it's so deep, because Kendrick is really the king of dropping seeds and
Yeah.
stuff. And again, I'm not putting up with all the other craziness, but it just made me research. I'm like, what's this Black Hood? What is it? I'm like, he crazy. And I looked it up and I was like, wow, that's something I didn't know. So
Yeah.
when she just said that about the Moors, I was like, because the Moors, I mean, they civilized Spain and Italy and all of that stuff, but they wore that garb
mhm.
in tradition a week before Easter. So yeah, there's a fact that I didn't know. And thank you, Demetria.
Okay.
Well, you know what? You explain that way better than Kanye could ever explain it.
Yeah, yeah.
So thank you for that, and shout
Imagine
out to
that.
K Dot. Shout out to K Dot because Kendrick is one of those ones that will drop gems
Yeah.
every time, even when he destroys you. We
Yes.
gotta ask Aubrey about that. But anyway,
Yes.
um, ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all so much. I'd like to thank my special guests, Demetria and Flex. You guys are incredible. Demetria, you are fabulous, talented. Looking forward to you not only in this play, but next season of House and Pain or whatever you do,
Thank you.
especially Flex, you with the hope to see you back on stage and also continuing in television, family business, and so many other projects. But I wish you all much success with this play. You guys are going to take this nationwide. I know you guys are in LA and Oakland and the Bay. Yee!
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
you guys are going to Detroit and, you know, all over the
yeah.
country. So, you know, continued success. Please give Carl and Jill and Chico and Brian and everybody else on the cast my best.
For
And
sure.
everybody, make sure you guys go get your tickets. You know, leave your camera phones at home. Sit down and actually enjoy a great, well-rounded, dynamic cast and play. Thank you all so much.
Thank
Really
you.
appreciate your
Thank
time.
you.
All right.
All right.
Peace. Go
Bye.
Go Yankees. Later.
Go Dodgers.
All right.
Bye.
Peace.